Hey guys, what's going on, dudes? It is David here. We are back with another video. Now in this video, guys, we shall be discussing the Busch Light class that happened last night at the LA Colliseum. The first official race. Nascar is back. I've been waiting a while to say that, but NASCAR is finally back. Now this is the first time that NASCAR has done something like this, and they went all out. They got Ice Cube, they got Pitbull, they got DJ Ski. They went all out to try and advertise this as one of the most exciting races coming up. And it's the first race 2 weeks away from the Daytona 500. Yes, that means we are less than 2 weeks away from the Great American Race. Now, when it came to the race, did the race live up to the hype? Somewhat yes, and somewhat no. Because I gotta be honest, throughout the first half of the race, there was not really that many exciting things that really happened, like that brought the race to like hype, like a usual short track would. The heat races now, they were exciting. I mean, yeah, both RFK racing teams not making it, Brad Keselowski and Chris Buescher. You have Bubba Wallace bumping his teammate out of the way, and Kurt Busch not making it. Bubba Wallace ended up making it, but when it came to the main, the first 76, 75 laps, the biggest thing that really happened when it came to the first few laps was the fact that Tyler Reddick, a guy who passed Kyle Busch on lap 6 of the race because Kyle Busch got the pole. It was Kyle Busch and Tyler Reddick on the front row. Kyle Busch led up until lap 6 where Reddick got around Busch. Then on lap 55, the next thing that happened was lap 55, and that was when was it Ricky Stenhouse? Yeah, it was Ricky Stenhouse Jr. that ended up spinning because I think he just got loose. No, yeah, he just got loose coming out of the corner, and he just ended up spinning around. Now, during that caution on lap 55, 3 cars ended up retiring from the race. Denny Hamlin, who was looking to be a strong contender for the Busch Light class at the Colliseum, Tyler Reddick, the leader at the time, and Chase Briscoe. All these 3 cars, I am pretty sure they would have had a very good opportunity at winning this race and getting the first win of the 2021 season. But after lap 55, all 3 cars were out of the race. Restart on lap 56. So the restart, Kyle Busch led. And then the next big thing that happened came 10 laps later when Chase Elliott ended up spinning after he didn't get help from Ryan Blaney, but I'm pretty sure that upset his car and he ended up spinning going into the corner, and that caused a caution. And then coming off the restart for that, Kyle Busch led again. Kyle Busch has led a lot of the restarts, and you'll find out when we get later on into the race what happens when he doesn't lead. Logano gets by Busch 7 laps after lap 67, and on lap 75, that's when the race was halfway done. And this is when the performance of Ice Cube came in, and I gotta say, it was a very good performance. It seemed like a good amount of the crowd was into the songs that Ice Cube was doing. I'm very glad to see this because I've seen bands perform at WWE events, like live WWE events, and the crowd doesn't look as hyped as it usually does. But Ice Cube performing at the LA Coliseum, considering Ice Cube is actually from LA, that was a very good thing for NASCAR to do, and Ice Cube did a very good job. Like he looked like he was having a very good time performing the songs that he was doing at the LA Coliseum, and I think he did at least 3 songs. And from what I can see, the crowd was somewhat into it when it came to the songs that he was singing. But ultimately, Ice Cube ended up finishing this, and during most of the caution, it was DJ Ski playing the music. I'm pretty sure Pitbull played at the beginning or before the race. So yeah, Pitbull at the beginning, Ice Cube in the middle, and then DJ Ski throughout the caution. So overall, it was a very good opportunity for the music event. From what I've heard, DJ Ski was basically going with the music every time the caution would go out. So the people that were there watching the race live in the crowds were just hearing music 24/7 whenever there was caution, which there were a lot of cautions. If I remember right, there was about 5 cautions, which is a decent amount of caution when it comes to short track. When it comes to like Martinsville, you usually see about 5 to 7 cautions, so that's about usual for a short track like that. But when the race restarted on 75 laps to go, Kyle Busch, the pole sitter, led off the restart. And I tell you guys, the next big moment that happened in the race happened on 36 laps to go. Eric Jones pushed Ryan Blaney up into the wall, battling for 7th. Ryan Blaney ended up breaking something in his car. Ryan Blaney ended up having to go to the pits to try and get fixed. He did come back out, but his race was basically ruined. And I just want to say this. Eric Jones, I can understand it's a clash and it's a very short track. Short tracks can have a lot of tempers. That's what short tracks are known for when it comes to NASCAR. They're going to have a lot of tempers. But battling for 7th and you do something like that, and you end up taking a guy that has a very good shot. Now we're going to talk about in a couple minutes here about another thing incident. I'm really upset with the way this guy treated the guy that got taken out. But Eric Jones, that was really unnecessary. Ryan Blaney ended up throwing his Hans device to Eric Jones, I think before he actually did the interview on NASCAR on Fox. So that was interesting to see. We still haven't got the camera angle for when he actually threw the Hans device at Eric Jones, but I wouldn't be shocked that Ryan Blaney ends up paying back Eric Jones later on in the season, even though this is the clash and it's a non-points paying race. But after 35 to go, Kyle Busch led off the restart, and then literally the next lap later, after Justin Haley gets down right behind Kyle Larson, William Byron gives Justin Haley a shot. He gives Justin Haley a bump straight into Kyle Larson. And then Kyle Larson, coming off the back straightaway, decides to turn straight left and put Justin Haley in the wall. And Justin Haley was surprising because I did not think the Colleague 31 team was going to have a very good shot at winning this race. But he was a legitimate shot had he stayed in this race. Looking back at the incident, and I've seen the camera angles that they've been shown on NASCAR on Fox. This is definitely, I don't know what Kyle Larson is. Kyle Larson rarely loses his temper, but that was completely unnecessary for Kyle Larson to do that. Because there have been a lot of beating and banging throughout the whole of the race when it comes to heats and the main event. And you never really see drivers do something like Kyle Larson did. So yes, that was completely unnecessary what Kyle Larson did, and I'm not happy with what Kyle Larson did. And I really hope Kyle Larson goes, or at least texts Justin Haley and apologizes for that and talks to his teammate, because his teammate was the one that gave Justin Haley a bump into Larson, and then Larson ended up putting Haley into the worst part of the track, which is concrete, the inside barrier, which is concrete, and that completely messed up the front end of Justin Haley's car and ended up ruining Justin Haley's day. Justin Haley ended up retiring from the race, finishing in 20th place. And the rest of the finishers behind him were already out of the race, and that's Briscoe, Hamlin, and Reddick. So we got 20th through 23rd. So that's unfortunate to see for them. But after that restart, with 33 to go, surprisingly, very, very surprisingly, it wasn't Kyle Busch who led off the restart. It was not Kyle Busch who led off the restart. It was Joey Logano. And from 33 laps to go until the finish, Joey Logano did not get past. Kyle Busch came close to getting to the back of Joey Logano, but Joey Logano did not get past. And I've already said this to you guys, and you guys already know this about me, that I don't really like Joey Logano. Going back to lap 75, Joey Logano, we already know this. He's overly aggressive. He's overly aggressive. But considering the way that cars couldn't get around, the only way you could get around someone is by pushing them out of the way, I fully respect what Joey Logano did. It was way overly aggressive because that could end up ruining Kyle Busch's day, and had Kyle Busch got taken out of the race, I'm pretty sure what would have came from Kyle Busch getting taken out of the race by Joey Logano, a guy he has issues with from the past. So Joey Logano ended up getting the lead, 33 laps to go, did not look back, but I just wanted to say this. The most dominant car of this race was not Joey Logano. The most dominant car in this race was not Joey Logano. It was that 18 of Kyle Busch. Because had Kyle Busch stayed in the lead off that final restart, I don't think Kyle Busch would have been able to been caught. And I feel like if Kyle Busch had been caught by Joey Logano, we would have probably seen Joey Logano spin out Kyle Busch for the win, and I would have been very upset. It would have made an exciting finish for the Clash at Colliseum, but I would have been very upset considering the fact that you can't race respectfully and that, you know, you're battling for the win, you know, like the first win at the Clash, you know, the first at new track. And Joey Logano has a history of winning at new track, so I'm very happy for him when it comes to that. But if that had happened, I would have been very upset with Joey Logano, and I would have been feeling for Kyle Busch if that ended up happening. But that did not happen. Kyle Busch ended up finishing second in the race. And now when it came to the rest of the finish, I will not have it next to me. This is just a straight up talking video, straight face to face for you guys. Joey Logano finishing first, Kyle Busch second, Austin Dillon third, Eric Jones fourth, Kyle Larson in fifth, William Byron sixth, Cole Custer, top 10, Cole Custer, good job for him. 8th place was Christopher Bell, 9th place was AJ Allmendinger. I kind of wish AJ Allmendinger was close to Kyle Larson, so AJ could have gave Kyle Larson a shot back for Justin Haley, because I still do not agree with what Kyle Larson did. Kevin Harvick getting to round out in the top 10, and the rest of the finishers were Chase Elliott in 11th, Harrison Burton in 12th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 13th, Daniel Suarez in 14th, Martin Truex Jr. 16th, Michael Bedell 17th, Ryan Blaney 18th, Bubba Wallace in 19th, Justin Haley in 20th, and like I said, the rest of the finishers were Briscoe, Hamlin, Reddick, Hamlin, Briscoe, and actually Ryan Preece in the 15. So in terms of this race, what do I think of this race when it came to the final thing that happened? I gotta be honest, I think this race was okay. I don't really think it was that exciting, because the only really part that made it exciting was just the fact that it was a short track and there was a lot of bean and bang going around. But if I had to be honest, the Clash qualifiers, the Heat qualifiers, were actually putting on better, exciting, more finishes, because, you know, you had drivers battling it out to try and get into the main. So in my honest opinion, if I had to give this race a grade, like an F to an A grade, I'd probably give it a C+, and that's probably a 79%, just because the second half of the race was definitely better than the first half of the race. But besides that, let's get ready for Daytona, and I will see you guys all there when I will be at the track in Daytona. Anyway guys, I will see you guys all later. Peace.